Well, I'd like to welcome with us today Juanita Skillman. She is the board president of United, and also we have Kurt Weeman. And Kurt, of course, oversaw the projects department and alterations, but he sort of shifted his duties, and now you oversee.
Got promoted.
He got promoted. You're now overseeing. What's the official title?
Senior Field Services Manager.
Okay, which of course covers landscape.
Right.
And that's what we're really talking about today. Juanita, your last meeting was it was a long one, and to the point where you actually had to cut it off, and of course go to your closed section. But you've got a few things to talk about. The main top of the course that day that took a long time was the landscape department, the use of Roundup, and so on.
Exactly. And I want to assure all of our residents out there that we do hear you. It's not that we're ignoring the situation at all, but as your board of directors, we are required to act responsibly. And that means that we have to look at all aspects of the issue. And when you ban something like Roundup, you have to find something to replace it with. And that's what we did in our 100-day study. But our 100-day study was very limited to 2 products.
Correct.
And so all of the information that we got from them was a little bit limited, but we did find out that other products are so much more expensive than Roundup, need to be applied 4 to 6 times more than Roundup. And so the product and the labor meant a lot more cost, and that means assessments may have to go up. We are looking at using funds from our contingency fund, our emergency contingency fund, but that has to be replaced. So there's just all these different aspects that we need to look at to be sure that we're doing the right thing for everybody and for the mutual as a whole. United Board of Directors, yes, we serve the residents, and those are our constituents, but our responsibility is to the board and to the mutual as a whole. So we have to look at everything. We can't just look at one issue. And certainly the financial issue has been raised time and time again and is a big part of it. I don't think that all of our members remember 3 some years ago, under Director Leidick, who was head of our landscape department, or committee at that time, we cut back on the use of Roundup. And now it is, they call it surgically applied.
That's a good word for it.
By a wand. It's not sprayed. People seem to think we're breathing it in and it's sprayed. No, it is done just to edgings, weeds, those kinds of things. And we use other products, some herbicides, but a lot of the spraying that people think is Roundup is fertilizer and seeding. So they just don't understand all of the aspects that we've been trying to go over. So I just want to make the point that we look at the effectiveness of the product. Does it work? Does it work the way as good as Roundup did? What is the cost, both of the product and of labor? Some of the ones that we tried had to be remixed every 4 hours.
Approximately, yes.
So that just meant a lot more labor time of having to go back and remix and come out and that kind of thing. And when they say it has to be applied 4 to 6 times a year, that's in each area. So we're doing it all year long. It's not just a one-time every quarter. So how cost effective it is, how does it going to affect our residents' assessments, and what can we do to keep that as low as possible? That's why we need to work with GRF and Third, because we all use the same team. We use the same group of landscapers, and yes, they bill their hours separately by what area that they're in. It's still the same number of people and using the same thing. So same crews, how are we going to use the same product? We do need to do it right, but that's what your board is trying to do.
Yeah.
And I brought Kurt with me today because as the new man in charge of the landscaping, he has some ideas of how he's going to proceed and what his modus operandi is going to be going forward with that. So, Kurt?
Well, what we have done is we're going to cordon off a grassy area that has a good mixture of grass and weeds that we deal with here. What we use is what's called a non-selective herbicide. In other words, it kills everything that it touches. So that's a good idea as far as what Juanita said. We're not spraying it everywhere. The Roundup, if you see anything green, it doesn't have Roundup on it. Roundup is so effective, it kills any plant that it touches. So if residents are out walking their dogs and the grass is green, there's no Roundup.
Okay. Yeah, you know, Juanita brought up a very good point. Just the way this community is, one of the, I know one of the challenges that your department has is you could go into the area, meaning your crew, your landscapers, and you could quite literally, in a fairly small area, have GRF here, Third here, United here. And for your crews to go in and have to think, well, over here, we can use this product, but we can't use it 20 feet away and all that. The idea of everyone coming together, much like they're doing with the Energy Task Force,
exactly,
makes so much sense because you know, to bring everyone on together throughout the community, then it makes it easier for the staff.
Correct, that's our goal.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible for us to separate the mutuals as far as things like herbicides, things like that go. Like Juanita said, we do bill according to the land that we cover and the work that we do, but something like this needs to go across the board in order for it to even be practical.
Yeah, and I know that's a challenge, and also the challenge is whenever you look at maybe a more environmentally friendly option, there's always the consequences. The negative is that usually it costs more. Look at organic fruits and vegetables compared to standard. But the good consequence is it could turn out to be better for the environment and healthier way to go. So you got to weigh those.
it is, and that's what we're trying to do. We're not jumping in, no knee-jerk reaction. We're trying to do it scientifically, carefully, looking at all aspects, what works, what doesn't work. The other thing with the herbicides is it's not just one, it's not like just glyphosate, I always say it incorrectly. There are other things mixed in with it. And since Bayer bought Monsanto, they are looking at changing what's in the products, so we have to look at that. The other herbicides that we look at, again, are a mixture of products, and we have to take a look at each of those and see what works, and if it works, and how long it works, and how often we have to reapply it. We take great pride in the village with the way it looks, our landscaping. It's gorgeous. I mean, most people come in and see it for the first time and say, wow, we have mature trees, mature plants. There's just so much there, but we need to maintain it and take care of it. And again, as we've said, it's not in little sections. You can't say just this part is Third and just this part is United.
Right.
And none of it is GRF. Of course, they all around the clubhouses. We're not really looking at the golf courses right now. They're very happy with the landscaping on the golf course. So
this becomes almost a moving target in a sense because there's always changes in products, especially in the organic type products. And even with a Roundup, if they end up changing the formula, well, that could be a year away or more. They probably got zillions of gallons of this stored somewhere until once they go through all their testing, and I'm sure they will come out with a different kind of product in the future, an alternative, that you're still looking at a year or two down the road before it becomes widely available, it does.
This is a big subject nationwide.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not the only people that are looking at this.
Exactly.
And so there's a lot of research being done both here and in other countries. and we're trying to review all of that. I know he looks at the European study and the Irvine study and the UCI study and all of this, and then tries to put together what's best for United. But I think the main reason I wanted to speak this morning was just to let everybody know that we are not unaware of the problem. We are working at it as systematically as we can to do the best in all areas for our mutual, and that we are working very closely with the landscape department so that they can do the field work for us and then let us know what they think is best. And it's going to change all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, we are hoping the tests that we're going to run now, we hope them to be, find something conclusive within 6 weeks or so.
To start.
Yeah.
And then we're hoping to identify a product that is viable for us to use within our operations. Some of them, like Juanita mentioned, where we have to apply it 4 times about a week apart to make it effective, which doesn't work within our operations. We would have to completely change our operations and lose a lot of the efficiency we have. So we have to take all of those things into account. And once we do even select a product, we still have to figure out how to get it into our operations in a systematic way.
Yeah. So this is something that's, again, ongoing, you're looking into, and when you have updates to it, you'll make sure everyone knows.
Absolutely. So there's so many scare stories and tactics out there that we have tried to respond to with facts that have been gathered from various areas as to what it does and doesn't do. Roundup, like whatever it is, does not cause all different kinds of cancer. It's limited to one Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Non-Hodgkin's.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so we take all of these into account, and we do want to protect the community. We do want to protect our residents and their animals, but by the same time, token, we have to look at what we can do to continue to maintain United Laguna Woods or Laguna Woods Village entirely.
Right. All right. Okay. Good to have you both on this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming up, Kurt.
Hope we get the word out.
Yeah, and this will be an ongoing thing that will be updated.
And we will be updating each one of the boards as we go. So if people are interested in how this study is coming along, tune into the board meetings.
Okay.
I will be at each one of the board meetings coming up, updating the boards on our progress.
All right, very good. Thank you again.
Keep it there.
And we'll
good
be
to
back.
See you again.
Kurt, take care of yourself, and congratulations on your promotion.
Thanks.